did you become the brony you are today? How did you find the fandom exactly?
Well, it was last summer actually. I read a Game Informer article where a guy was defending My Little Pony against being frilly by saying, "Hey, was it frilly when Fluttershy stared down a cockatrice and turned it to stone? Huh? Was it frilly when Rainbow Dash did the sonic rain boom? No, it's not frilly at all." I was just like, "This is funny. Wait, that's a guy that said that? What the hell? What's he talking about? What? What? A guy watches My Little Pony? That shit's still going? What the hell?" So that perplexed me for like an hour, and then kind of slipped my mind
Yeah.
after that. But then later, I was reading, on the internet, Encyclopedia Dramatica, and I saw a link to bronies. I was like, bronies, bronies. Where have I heard that before? Oh yeah, oh those are those guys that like My Little Pony. Wow, this is a thing. This is a real thing. Holy shit! So I read that whole page and got to the bottom. I was like, bullshit. I don't believe that.
yeah.
It's just websites for like making fun of stuff. I don't believe half of what I read, but now I'm interested. So that night before I went to bed, I was like, all right, screw it. I'm got to find it on YouTube. There's got to be something about it. Let me see if I can find an episode and see why guys would like this show called My Little Pony. What the hell? Season 2, episode 9 was the first one I saw where Rarity goes to Canterlot. And,
Yeah. Funny episode, that one.
yeah, I didn't understand most of what was going on because I was like 9 episodes deep in the second season, but basically it was the first one that came up because it was the latest one out at the time. So I watched that and I was like, oh, that was pretty good. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Next day I watched like 3 more episodes. I was like, wow.
Yeah, you got to give it at least 4 episodes there.
Yeah, well, I liked it on the first episode. I wasn't like instantly insta fan right then. It took a few episodes. And then when I finally arrived on Applebuck season, I was like, all right, okay. That Sleep Depraved, that was hilarious as fuck. I'm in. I like it. But I'm not a brony. Not a brony. So a couple more episodes came by. I think I watched at least half of season 1's. And then I was like, you know what? Screw it. I am a brony, and I'm proud of it, too.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you be proud? I mean, it's awesome fandom. We got awesome people in it, such as yourself, Brony Bourne, Cats, awesome musicians, awesome voice artists.
It takes a while to get used to. I mean,
yeah.
To let yourself accept the fact that, yes, I am a man, and I do like My Little Pony, and no one's going to stop me,
It gets a little hard in the beginning.
Yeah.
But eventually you just go, fuck it.
Exactly.
That's who I am.
Mm-hmm. And I'm damn...
You don't like it. True.
And it's funny, too, because I used to, when my bandmates and I were moving into our new house in a big city, we all couldn't find jobs, so we just like, screw it, let's party, let's get drunk. Get wasted. I'm on the Xbox, and I'm like, we're watching ponies now. And everybody's like, no, fuck you. It's like, no, fuck you. My Xbox, my decision. We're watching ponies. And it was something I really looked forward to. Even if it was an episode I'd already seen, it was just like, it always had this feel of this is something awesome right here. This is, it's not a rare find because so many people know about it, but there's just like no question in my mind. It was not a random series of events why the show got popular with guys. It was...
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, this is awesome. Anybody who doesn't like it just doesn't have the swagger to understand.
True. Well, serious art. So you're a musician for the community. How did that start out?
Well, I've been making music on computers since I was about like 15 or 16 when my family got a whopping 1 gigabyte hard drive IBM Aptiva.
Oh.
And came with a program called MIDI Soft Recording Session, which was just about, MIDI notes, MIDI data, running it through the sound card. Simple stuff, but it was like a staff scoring program. And the first music was just terrible. It's like I had no idea what a chord was or any of that stuff. It was just like, this makes noise, and I made this thing make these noises in this order. This is awesome. So then I kept up with that. MIDI soft recording session, I came to the point where I realized, all the songs I hear being made do not sound as good as this. Or do not sound as bad as this. They sound a lot better. Eventually that came to the point where I had to I had to move on from there. And one of my bandmates, his brother, he was like, "Yeah, my brother makes electronic music too. He's really good at it. He's had record labels, offer him, contracts and stuff. Places like from the Netherlands and stuff." I was like, "What? Bullshit, really?" And it's like, "Wow, he really is that good." "Wait, man, what program are you using?" And he's like, "This is FL Studio." I was like, "Wait, Fruity Loops?" It's like, "Well, no, it's a full professional music software right now. It's FL Studio. It was Fruity Loops, and then they decided to go pro."
Yeah.
It's like, cool. So I got a copy of that and started making music. But at first it was just like, it's like, I know this other thing so well. I know this RM1X like the back of my hand. I can't leave it, just yet. But then a half hour of fun in FL turned into an hour, turned into 2 hours, turned into 4, turned into me planning song ideas to be made in that program and not in my RM1X, and then just being like, all right, okay, this is the future, because these recordings already sound so much better. The RM1X it's a great controller for live, and I'm sure some people still use it, but to actually make music on, it's like so retro and so out of date. It's almost like chiptunes. You make them for the purpose of using those specific sounds. Except for this thing is trying to emulate so many sounds that it's not a signature sound. Chiptunes are.
So, best pony. Everybody has to answer this.
Yes, Pinkie Pie.
Yes, Pinkie Pie. Any reason why Pinkie Pie?
Because I wanted to like Rainbow Dash best, and then Pinkie Pie turned out to be the best pony, and I can't deny it. I mean, I still like Rainbow Dash. I like all of them.
Yeah.
None of them annoy me.
Love all the ponies.
It seems like if you set your sights on a best pony or a worst pony, you're pretty much going to have to change it, because there is, is what it is. You got to recognize it, or you got to. As worst pony goes, Snips and Snails. Can't stand those.
Oh God. They are pretty bad. I dislike Silver Spoon and Diamond Tiara more, but that it's just don't like those two.
Well, they're funny. I'm down with them, because they're funny.
Yeah.
Snips and Snails are just downright annoying. It's like, make all male ponies look like idiots. If you guys make it into the Royal Guard when you grow up, you dishonor
God help the Queen.
The world. God help the Queen. We're all screwed. The check again, and you guys are in charge. You're gonna fuck up everybody.
Oh, great. So, favorite song out of the community, apart from anything you've done?
See, that's a hard question, because it's hard to pick a favorite, because I've heard a lot of good songs, and my favorites wouldn't come from the people you might think, because I don't idolize the more famous brony musicians at all. I mean, I know they're good at what they do, and that's a good thing, but when I hear somebody who's not famous make a song, it means so much more to me than someone that everybody else knows.
Well, who is your favorite musician and their song of your choice?
I cannot pick a favorite.
You cannot pick a favorite.
Cannot pick a favorite. I couldn't pick a best. Everyone, not everyone, but almost everyone I've heard is just like, I made this song, how does it sound? I've only been making music for 8 months.
Yeah.
Like, I can hear the potential in it, because so many people will focus on, the production quality, and that's really a difficult skill to master, and I respect those who have done it, but I've heard so much more interesting stuff from people who don't know how to produce than I have from people who really do know how to produce. It's like, because I've been playing music so long, I can hear the potential in pretty much anything, And it's, I hear the melody they come up with is like, that's, it jives, but it's original. It's, you're not doing the typical bro step stuff that so many poets do, and that's a good thing. I don't know how to classify this in a genre because it doesn't belong in one. That's also a good thing. So I really couldn't pick a favorite because there's so many songs. If I had to pick somebody who I think is underrated just because he does what I do and he makes music that he likes to do and does not try to get popular off of it, it would be the Main Electric. Because his music resides somewhere between, ambient, sometimes it's a little orchestral. It's like, he's doing
Nice.
his best to find his own sound, and he's not letting
Yeah.
what's popular influence that at all. So I'll give that guy a major shout out. He's also one of the coolest bronies I've ever known. Me and that guy have Skyped for like hours and hours. I mean, just me and him, and he's so legit and down to earth.
Nice.
As for bronies who aren't popular, who deserve it, again, way too many to name. Not me though, I suck. We could talk about what KOLT's doing. That's a pretty big project I'm working in.
What is your favorite episode out of all the pony series?
I would say Applebuck season because that's the episode that really got my attention and sold me on it. But as far as one that I can rewatch over and over again and still enjoy, it'd have to be Griffin the Brush Off. Gilda just cracked me up so much. Gilda better come back in season 3. I'm looking forward.
I know. I want Trixie to come back.
I'm pretty sure Trixie.
I like Trixie.
Everybody likes Trixie whether they admit it or not. Trixie is a pompous dick, but she's hilarious.
Everybody likes pompous dicks.
In some ways, yeah. I mean, Rainbow Dash can get pretty pompous at times, but
True. So, KOLT, what is it exactly, and how did you get roped into it?
I wouldn't say I got roped into it. KOLT is like a brony hip hop crew that contains a lot more than just people who rap. There are people who produce, there are people who do artwork, there are people who do music videos. A lot of different bronies with a lot of different fortes. And I heard about it, and I'd been friends with Cats for like a couple months, not like really close friends, but I heard about it. I was like, oh, cool, can I join? He's like, do you rap? Yeah. So I think I either linked 86 from Canterlot or Downtime. So I'm like, this is what I do. And he listened to it. He's like, dude, it's like that flow is amazing. He's like, the lyrics could use a little work, but the flow is amazing. I was like, oh, well, thanks. Yeah. So I was like, so I'm in. He's like, hell yeah, you're in. I was like, sweet. So that's how I became a member of KOLT. And we have a whole album plan. It's going to be released around January, first of the year.
Oh yeah.
We're working on it now. We've got songs planned out. We've got who's doing what on what song planned out. It's a lot more organized than your average just, well, guys, now that we're here, what do we do? It's
sweet. So it's not going to be like a whole professional rap album type thing?
Yeah.
What songs are you working on, if you're allowed to talk about it?
In KOLT?
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's got to be kept a secret, but we have at least 13 album.
At least 13. Nice. Yep. Have you done anything that's not pony before? Like any music or anything like that?
You mean since I became a brony?
Yeah.
Yeah, since here and there. Usually when I make a track, I really want to make it pony. Some of them don't fit with that. Some of them are tracks that encompass the fandom itself and not so much the show. There's a brony named Scooter Lewis who's like an excellent lyricist. He doesn't really make music, but he writes good lyrics. He ponified Kickapoo by Tenacious D. Really nice. Fantastic job of it. And he's pretty humble about it. He doesn't think it's that good. But I'm like, dude, I know good when I see it, and I don't hand out compliments like I would hand out ice cream if I was doing that. No, dude, this is good. And so he's a regular member of 1 Hour Compo, but since he doesn't music, he usually does like a cappella raps, and he's really good with his lyrics. Like in 1 hour, he can come up with 3 minutes worth of stuff. And he did this one track, which it actually wasn't a rap; it was a story called Dave's Cave. Because the theme for 1 Hour Compo, for those who don't know, it's we get together and over the course of an hour make an entire song, take another 20 minutes to render it down, master it, and upload it, and then we sync listen for the next about 2 hours. Usually about, 25, 30, sometimes even 40, 45 people show up to that every week. And it's amazingly good fun. It'll teach you to streamline your workflow because you will feel pressure to hurry up and get something done, and then you will think about, okay, next time I'm not going to do this because that took too much time. I downloaded it and I remixed it into a song called Dave's Cave, which is, I chopped up the samples of him reading the story, and then I did some rap about how, Dave's a badass. Don't fuck with it. It's... So I do some songs outside of remixing ponies
Ponies.
or using their voices or
Yeah.
doing a song about ponies to do something that the fandom has done. A lot of times.
How exactly do you make the wubs? Or as your roommate calls it, wub-wubs.
Wubs? Oh, well,
Yeah.
I got webs that I really liked. It was it was when I was remixing Pinky's Lie by Glaze. The drop didn't go to wubs, it just went to more melody. I was like, this is not hard, I'm not feeling this. It needs something heavy here, but what can I do? And I randomly said, what if I chop up Pinkie Pie's voice? What can I do with this? So I chopped up her voice. I'm like, that's pretty gritty sounding. It needs more grit though. It's gritty in tone, it needs to be gritty in spirit. So I pitched it down, I put a distortion on it, and I put an overdrive on it, and then it was sounding extremely gritty. And when you get an overdrive after a low pass filter and you sweep the cutoff, it plays with the harmonics, it gives a really nice wub tone. So it's like, I'm onto something here. So I messed with that a bit more, and the beauty of chopping up a vocal clip and using that for wubs is every note that's in there is the same sound but a slightly different timbre. So they react differently when you wub. So you've got a wealth of different tones that all sound more or less the same that you can actually wub. I'm like, this is like some holy grail shit that I just discovered right here. This is my holy grail of wub. So all the wubs in Pinky's Lie are done that way. Pretty much all the wubs in like 95% of my songs are done that way. Food for My Subjects, I wubbed Cadence's voice.
It's a good song now.
Thank you. Only for You Dash was a Pinkie Pie again, but I amped it up and made it more beefy. It's like so much to play with because it's like I know there's a lot of synths out there that are great for making the wub wub, but it's like I want to be something different, you know. I want my own style, my own sound, and when I discovered that, that's how I found it.
So have you been to any cons at all, like any pony cons?
I went to Everfree Northwest. And that was fantastic. I didn't know if I was either going to love it or hate it, and I loved it.
Any embarrassing stories?
Slightly embarrassing, but like everything I do, it's like I learned to laugh about it, and so the first night, it's like I brought a whole bottle of rum there with me because I planned a party, you know. This is a con. After the music's over, there's going to be a party. There just is, and there was, and it was epic. But there was so much trouble getting into pony stock because they didn't quite have it sorted out. They had some last-minute lineup changes. Everybody got kicked back downstairs and was told to come up like 5 at a time on the elevator to get in. So I was like, well, I'm going to wait like 45 minutes to an hour, come back in an hour, and I'm sure there won't be a line then because a lot of these people are super tired. I can see it in their eyes. I can see it in their faces. They're going to come up. They're going to enjoy it. They're going to realize I've got no stamina for this. And then, actually, I think I came back like an hour and a half later, maybe 2 hours, but you know, it was open floor. There was no line. I was like, fine. But, you know, I'd had quite a bit more drink in me than I had planned to do the first night. I wanted to make that bottle last, and I was feeling pretty damn good. And once you're feeling pretty damn good, the worst thing you want is to come down off of that.
True.
That's the party mentality. You don't cut the party short unless you have to work tomorrow, and then you never could really party in the first place. And that's not good. Just had like this heavy-ass mix of rum and coke that I was toting around. You know, that's the only thing past the staff is if it's mixed with something else that looks less offensive.
Apparently there's a story about Silverhound knocking you out.
That was the rumor that went around the next day. It was funny because I think Fenton was the first guy I met up with who had heard it. He's like, dude, I heard Silverhound punch you so hard you had to have stitches. I was like, no. No. But it was what actually happened was I partied way too hard that night. I drank the entire bottle of rum in the course of the evening. So by the time the party did, I was feeling really damn good. So
as you do,
I partied. I was outside, and like party goes over, and if you're drunk, you don't notice the party's over. All of a sudden, you look up, but he's not around. So I was trying to go home, and I was wasted. Chain Algorithm and Silverhound were still there. Like, dude, are you sure? It's like, yeah, I'm sure I'm good to go. I know I'm good. So I turned to go, and I just pretty much turned and charged right into the damn thing, like straight up into it. Cut my head open. on the damn thing, and then pretty much lost my understanding of what was going on right then and there. And so, next thing I know, I'm sitting on the curb, and I'm just like, the fuck, who hit me? Who the fuck hit me? Like, nobody hit you, dog. You walked into a goddamn stop sign. I was like, oh, shit. So, like, the staff nurse makes me sign a disclaimer saying I won't sue. I'm like, of course I'm going to sue, but I still signed a fake name on the damn thing. And just like, fuck this. Nobody better medical bill me. They're like, it's not a medical bill. I'm like, I don't care. Just thank you for helping me out, but now piss off. I'm so drunk and tired. I want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So when I woke up the next day, I was like, wow, that really happened. Damn. But then the rumor of Silverhound punched me so hard I had to have stitches. It's like, I wish that was the story. That sounds like a better story.
Yeah. So, are you planning on going to this latest con? What is it? Las Pegasus.
Las Pegasus?
In Vegas.
It's a definite possibility.
Definite maybe.
It's a definite maybe.
Yeah.
I've been told to get into contact with the people who are doing the music so I could possibly perform down there. KOLT is most likely performing down there. In fact, it's probably going to be the place we actually release the album is at Las Pegasus.
There's been a few rumors about that.
Yeah, it's nothing's certain quite yet. We still have a few months till it goes down, but if I can't be there, I will be there. That's a definite fact.
How known are you in the fandom at the moment?
How known am I?
Yes.
Or
do you not know how known you are?
I'm pretty underground right now.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's fine. I like it that way. I think if I exposed it all of a sudden, it'd be cool for like a couple days. Then it'd be like, all of a sudden, all these things would be being said about me that didn't actually happen, or I wasn't around for it. Just be like, what the fuck? Because I've talked to some bronies whose fame like just blew up just like that, and they regretted that it had changed them. They reacted in a way they really didn't want to react, and they felt bad for it. So, yeah, I don't think I would quite react that way, but I would seem that way to people because I've hit people up who are busy and never gotten answered back. But then again, I've had people hit me up on Skype and only heard about it from Skype when it was like, dude, I understand if you don't like my music, but at least answer me. It's like, wait, dude, Skype just sent me this chat. I regularly check Skype for that because I never want to be that guy who doesn't answer somebody and makes them feel bad. But inevitably it did happen. Yeah. And it was just like, dude, it's not that. It's Skype literally just said, oh, hey, by the way, this guy sent you a message. Actually, sent you 3 messages. Seems pretty pissed off. You should answer him. I'm like, Skype, fuck you. You're the worst secretary ever. When I get a message, tell me I got a fucking message.
Skype's been doing that a lot lately. Mm-hmm. It's been doing that a lot lately to everyone now. They're sending fake calls, sending messages like 3 days late.
Yeah, I've got quite a few calls from people I know. It's just like, wow, did you really? And they're just like, no. It's like, you called me 5 times today. No, I didn't.
So you're working on some new stuff lately. Have you been working on any collabs with any other bronies?
Collabs are, depending on the role in the collab, a collab is a very difficult thing. It helps when you have 2 people that have the same, digital audio workstation they're working from, but it's very hard because it's like, if you use any programs I don't have, I can't load them. So there's that. If somebody's making a lead in Massive and I don't have Massive, it's like I can't load it, I can't hear it. That's a difficult thing. There's also the concept of, well, who starts and who does what. If a collab's going to work, it's going to be very specific as to who is doing what. It can't just be like, oh yeah, make some stuff and then shoot it to me and I'll make some stuff. Or it might not get anywhere. That's my experience with it, because there's quite a few people that I've agreed to do collabs with and then found out how hard it was to actually get it started. It requires plenty of discussion. You got to know exactly what you're doing. You can have a great concept, but if you don't have a start point for it, it's difficult. So currently, the collabs that I remember joining, me and Rarity the Fabulous are making a song called The Life and Times of Pinkamena Diane Pie. And basically the song's going to cover Cole's life story, samples from all. The music style at the moment is going to change to fit the mood. And it's going to start with her on the rock farm being a sad little filly, up to the point where she discovered that parties make people smile, and she loves to make people smile, and then on from there. I think he was the first person that I ever wanted to collab with. We were just like, dude, you're cool. Dude, you're cool. We should collab. Hell yeah, we should. And we still do not have one note written on that. It's still in the processing, planning phase. Collabs are difficult. Then again, there was a collab with Evdog I did for October Sky, which was...
That was a good
wow,
song.
you only spent 5 minutes on that? It's like... Well, all I did in it was the crazy voice, and I did it in one take. And he's like, dude, that's fine. It's like, do I need to do any of those lines over? He's like, no, I like them the way they are. It's like, all right, man, there we go. But see, in that one, my role was very defined. It's like, you're doing the crazy voice, I'm making the music, I'm doing the sane voice. You're doing the enemy, the crazy guy. Like, all right. And when it comes down to that, it's very easy. I knew exactly what I needed to do, and I did it.
Yeah.
There was another collab I did that went over very smoothly called Monochrome Main. And it was, I provided the drum samples and I sent it to the other guys in the collab and they're like, dude, awesome, okay. And then they laid the instrumentation over it. So the drums in that were me, the rest of it was other people. And it was straightforward.
Do you own any pony swag?
Do I have any pony swag?
Yes.
Well, I have a shirt I had custom made that says pony swag on it. And this was like I was out rolling around town with some friends of mine, and we were at a store that does custom screen printing. I was like, cool. And like the prices on it were great. I got the shirt made for $10. Shirt and the printing. It was like perfect. I was like, I want this brown shirt here, and I want you to put like neon green letters on it, just say pony swag in this font. I'm sure the guy was like, what the fuck does that even mean? But he did it. It was like, now I've got my own custom pony shirt. Nobody else in the world has this shirt. And the funny thing was I went back home after I made the shirt and I Googled pony swag to see if that's ever been done. And then I found the damn Swagberg song called Pony Swag. I was like, man, nobody's ever going to believe me that I didn't make that shirt because of that song. It was kind of funny that way. But yeah, that's my pony swag. And then there was a local meetup where we all rolled down to McDonald's to get pony toys. And I got a pony that is not really even in the show. It looks a little bit like Derpy, but no crossed eyes. It's got like a purple coat and a yellow mane and Pegasus wings, but it's not Derpy.
So it's Ditsy Doo.
I don't even think it's supposed to be Ditsy Doo. It's like Lily something or other. It's like, I've never heard of that pony. That's one of the things I'm terrible at, is keeping up with background ponies, because it took me forever to figure out like who the hell like Octavia was. It's like
there is no fandom I would be a part of. Just the love we have for each other. This is amazing.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Are you actually part of any other fandom apart from ponies at all?
No, I'm not.
No, just the ponies.
Where
Yeah.
literally anything can happen and nobody questions it because it's like, oh, that couldn't really happen. It's like, this is Doctor Who, The whole point of it is, the Doctor will take the companion to places where things happen that they never thought possible. Yeah. Which is great for the viewer because it's like, well, we never knew about this either. Now suddenly we want to know all about it. The Weeping Angels one especially was a great episode. That was literally like very good suspense. Just like, don't. It's an awesome show. I lost touch with it because I moved away from my hometown where all my favorite, Doctor Who friends were. We used to have a thing called Sci Friday in our hometown where we'd show up to, when the new Doctor Who episode was launched, a buddy of mine would download it. We'd all get together and we watched Sci Friday. Every Friday, new Doctor Who episode. And now I showed up to that quite a bit, whenever I could make it. Yeah. Funny thing is whenever I'm watching a good show, though, I always fall asleep the last 10 minutes. And I wake up. Every Doctor Who episode, it's like I'm like so engrossed in this, my mind's like, hey, tell you what, we can go to sleep and dream about what could have happened at the end. Yeah, okay, that sounds cool. And then I wake up and I'm like, what the fuck happened? It's like, dude, you did it again. You fucking fell asleep right at the last 10 minutes. It's like, damn it. Okay.
I
But it just means I got to go back and watch it again, find out what happened.
Yeah.
If
True.
Ponies ever gets old, which eventually I suppose it will. Even in this lag between, seasons 2 and seasons 3, it wears on people.
We've already lost. We already have lost a few bronies because of this wait between the 2 seasons.
Not everybody's got the swagger to stay dedicated.
Yeah.
I like Ponies, and it's very dear to me because I never wanted to be a brony at all. I wasn't trying to be something. I wasn't trying to fit it.
Just wanted you to join.
I checked it out. I enjoyed the show, and I was like, yeah, this is good. Suddenly, I wanted to see more episodes. Like, wait, we're season 2. There's a whole season 1, 24 episodes. Wow, okay. Well, I have quite a bit to check out when I have time, if it's convenient. And then came, now, There were times when I would take my lunch break at work and stretch a half an hour, which was my limit, to like 40 minutes just to, boot up an episode on my laptop, get that thing to run smoothly, and then watch it. It's like, yeah, I'm late coming back. Yeah, are they watching my time? Probably. Do I give a shit? No, I do not. I'm not going back from lunch until I'm done watching this episode. And a lot of the last season 2 episodes were like that. It was just like, it's like, fuck work. I'm watching Ponies.
What did you think of those last 2 episodes of season 2? The wedding ones.
They were great. I normally enjoy the show mostly because of the humor in it, but the last 2 episodes presents a very. It was almost like a mini movie between the 2. It was.
Yeah.
Nobody believes Twilight when she says Cadence is evil, and it's like she's right, but then you start to question it. Maybe she's just seeing things wrong. Maybe she is wrong, and then all of a sudden Cadence is evil. Like, legitimately, and everybody's like, oh, shit, I knew it, she's a bitch, fuck her. And then Twilight shot laser out of her horn, I was like, damn, hell yeah, blast that shit. Especially the bridesmaids part, I think that one cracked me up the hardest in the whole 2 seasons. It's like, how did you get past my bridesmaids? And then it shows her chucking the flowers, I want it. Which, that kind of hit on a special note with me because my own brother's wedding, where I was the best man, had just happened I think a couple months before that. And when my brother's wife tossed the garter, there were so many guys who would literally draw blood to get that shit in just that split second moment. It was hilarious. They're ready to fuck some people's shit up just to get that thing. It's like, yep, I can see the bridesmaids thing being the same way. I want it! And then every pony went out and kicked Changeling ass.
Best princess, who do you like?
Luna.
Luna, good choice.
Yes. I mean, I like Celestia, she's alright, but Luna's dope.
Luna's better.
Luna's dope as hell, bro. Favorite OC?
Yeah.
I don't keep up with people's OCs unless it's actually, I don't keep up with people's OCs at all. I mean, I've made a few, but I haven't role played with them or anything. Basically, I made them to fit, roles in songs that I was making. So there's a song that I couldn't put out 4 months ago that I got up to the point where the song was finished and I was making art for it and I couldn't get the art to work. And then since I make a new song every time I sit down, I was just like, yeah, I'm lost. Just moved on from there. Remembered it later, but I made an OC called Square Wave. She has no backstory as of yet. Probably will someday because, this song, I now realize it's not ready to be published. It needs more substance behind it. Besides just referencing Square Wave as part of the song. So she's up to become something. Then there was an OC I made for another song I did for Winter Wrap-Off, which, for those who don't know, Winter Wrap-Off was a 1 minute to minute 30 rap contest every month that Evdog started on Equestrian Beats.
So you're a pretty old brony compared to the rest of us.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm older than 99% of the people I know. Which some of them will joke about it being weird, and I think that's funny. But Most of them don't mean it. I've had a troll show up in the IRC before, and shit like that, and that was fucking funny. You know, it's just like I could have got all pissed about it, but instead I just fucking laughed. I was like, I know what you are. I know what you're doing. And you're cracking me up right now. They're like, what are you doing, creepy old man? Just chat with so many kids. I'm like, what are all these fucking rugrats doing in my IRC? You know, how about them apples, motherfucker? I'm at a time of life when most people would be like, okay, dude, it's time to grow out of this pony shit. It's like, I'm sorry, what did you just say to me? So you're telling me to stop doing what I like to do so I can do something that will be more in line with what you like to do? No, I got a better idea. How about you go fuck yourself, and I'm gonna keep doing what I do. It's fine with me. I'll do what I want when I want, and no one's gonna stop me. It's another thing I enjoy most about it. That's why I like watching ponies, because I never wanted to become a fan, but well, it just happened, and I do not regret it.
That there was like an 80-year-old brony get one of the cons.
Well, I'm sure that's happened. And then there was the woman who was Granny Smith as part of the Apple family at Everfree, who was definitely older than me. I mean, not that old. I'm thinking brony musicians when I talk about bronies who are older than me. And
not a lot that are
it's pretty much, for the most part, it's about like a 16 to 24 kind of thing as far as brony musician goes. I mean, there are older people, not older people, but older bronies than that, me being one of them, who make music, but most of the older bronies who are older than me that I know are not musicians, they're just bronies. There's a few in my meetup who out-age me by quite a few years. They're pretty damn cool, but on first take you think, wow, it's kind of weird you like a kid's show. It's like, actually, it's kind of weird that we all like a kid's show. Because how many people actually, you know, in the fandom who know how to work a computer and stuff are in the intended age, or even in the intended gender? Like, pretty much nobody. It's like, we are all doing something that we were not supposed to do, and that's what makes it so awesome, is because we recognize how cool it could be without having to conform to what other people would think is cool.
Yeah.
It's funny because one of my roommates like regularly tries to do, man, you gotta stop making this pony shit, man. I gotta get you gigs. You gotta DJ these clubs. You could be famous, man. It's like, so what you're trying to say is that you think I'm wasting my time making this awesome music, which every time I see this guy, he plays Only for You Dash out of his phone. It's like, we need more wub wub. I'm like, I hate to remind you, bro, but that's a pony song. Yeah, but it's awesome. It's like, so you're telling me to not make awesome stuff. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm going to continue to make awesome stuff.
You always make awesome stuff.
When I run out of pony things to do, I'll stop making pony music. Right now, it's kind of half and half. I'll make a track. If I can incorporate ponies, I'll totally do it, because ponies make everything cooler.
Yeah, always.
You'll notice I did not say 20% cooler. Oh, wait, I just said it.
Wait.
Friendship is Witchcraft is kind of something I'm waiting to actually get into it till it has enough, because I've always been, you know, when it comes to something I really like, I usually get to show up late to the point where other people are like starved waiting for new things, and I'm still just discovering it. Like all through season, well, not all of season 2, but most of season 2, I still had season 1 I hadn't seen to fall back on.
Yeah.
You know, while other people knew, many of the pony musicians and the ones that were more famous became much more prominent. You know, I still had a lot of undiscovered people to meet and to talk to, and it was great like that. Like, I didn't get into Harry Potter until like a couple months before the 7th book dropped, and then I read them all and waited 2 weeks to get the final book, and that was it. Everybody else had been like tortured over like 10 fucking years for that shit. I showed up late to the party, and I wasn't quite as tortured, and I enjoyed the hell out of that. You know, people just like dying for that shit. The lines at the bookstore that I went to was just like, holy crap, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I didn't go that far as to line up, but I still had the torture there.
Yeah. So I'm great at showing up fashionably late. It will show up, and I will be happy to be there when I get to it.
Yeah.
I like it that way. I mean, there's some discussion topics I'll have with people where I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about. But, you know, that's a small price to pay for not being like, oh my god, I can't wait for this shit to happen. Swag.move. When is it? When is it? Do you mind when you made your first song? Like very first song or very first pony song? My first song was like, holy shit, here's a program that makes music and I can control it. Yes. Very first pony song was I had just gotten a smartphone. I was like, wow, all these cool apps, what do I do with them? You know, I bet there's something for pony. So I searched the Android market and found the pony soundboard. I was like, well, I don't know who most of these characters are just yet. So many background characters I have no idea. So many lines from the show that I don't know where they come from. That was cool. It's like this is stuff I will soon know about, but I don't yet. So it's part of the interesting path of discovery. But the about screen was the MIDI version of Pinky's Lie by Wooden Toaster. You know, I linked it to the YouTube, heard the whole song, and I was like, it's a tight song. I thought it came from the show at first because I'd only seen just a few episodes. And then as I started to remix it, because there was like a MIDI link available, I was like, wait, this is not a song from the show. I started remixing that song, and about like 6 hours into it, then I realized like this is not a song from the show. This has got to be some original work. So I hit up Wooden Toaster on YouTube. I was like, dude, is this an original work? And if so, do you mind if I still remix? He's like, hell yeah, man, go for it. You know, here's the rest of the stems. Go for it. I was like, great. So I didn't know I was remixing a song that was purely a fan-made song. I knew the samples came from the show, but I realized that the tune itself wasn't. I'm like, I'm still going to remix it. This is a great tune. I'm still enjoying the hell out of this. So basically the way I remixed that song was I was a dishwasher at the time, which was probably one of the best jobs I've ever had because I got to listen to music all day. So I would make my latest version of the song, put it in my MP3 player, and listen to it about 30 times a day. And that helped me decide everything I didn't like about it, I would change. And everything I did like, I would keep. So I was basically testing all my mixes and cross-referencing them while I worked. And then after work, I would stay at work till like 3 or 4 in the morning and mix one on the song. And I did that song on like a $230 netbook with no mouse and just like a pair of like MP3 headphones. And the headphone jack on that computer was fucked, so I had to lay my cell phone on it to get it work. But I would just stay there for hours, work on the song till I got tired. I was like, I gotta go home and sleep at some point. If the morning crew comes in, you're still here, that's gonna be some whack shit. So then I'd go home, sleep for a couple hours, come back to work, listen to the latest version of the track over again, decide what I liked, what I didn't like, and come right back.
So apparently Caps wants you to talk about KOLT more.
So what else is new? What's left to say on KOLT, man? It's a full scale brony hip hop crew. Not just doing it for the fun, but doing it trying to be on a professional level. Yeah. He's a very professional guy. He's he still enjoys what he does a lot, but he's also into the professional side of it, and he's got that shit on lockdown. This guy, he's good. He's very good. He's very, very, very fucking good. I respect him as a rapper. Yeah.
Well, I said he was the first musician, like pony musician that I actually heard. Pony song that I heard was Hey NCF by Young Cats. That was a great song. I still listen to that.
So what I always enjoy about the fandom is there's so many people making good music that I've never heard of.
Yeah.
And when, that was a big thing I enjoyed about Remix War 5, because I remixed Eurobeat Brony's Discord for that, and I knew a lot of people had remixed that song before, but it's like I had always wanted to do my own take on it. So, after quite a few months, I finally got a hold of Eurobeat Brony, got the stems and all that stuff from it, and his blessing on it. It's like, and I did that for Remix War 5, and I'm pretty proud of the track that came out of that. It has a very interesting sound to it. What I love is when a song kind of dictates itself to where it needs to go, and I just feel like I have to keep up with what the music wants to do. That's why I'm a huge fan of concrete music, which has pretty much not been touched by anybody in the Brony fandom. Nobody in the fandom is a dedicated musique concrete artist. It's not a genre a whole lot of people know about. It will never be famous because it has no rules and no boundaries and no definitions. It's basically the principle of musique concrete is you take random sounds and you warp the fuck out of them to make them fit what you're doing. And you can legitimately just set up a soundscape in 5 minutes and be like, okay, I know what I need to do for the next 30 seconds of this song and for the next minute of this song, and pretty soon this song is writing itself and you're just working the controls. That's what I love about it. However, it will never be popular on any kind of radio. People who like to hit up obscure artists in Pandora might find some musique concrete, and once you fully like recognize it, you can hear it in a lot of things. It's like that sample is very untypical. That's it's a bit of concrete composing where you're just finding a sample and making it work for. I have yet to make a musique concrete. Actually, no, that's not true. There's a brony who I know who is a great musician. He has his own style, like completely, but I've never chatted with him on Skype. I've never seen him in like the official Brony Music IRC. He stays outside the channels, and he still has fans. Yeah. His name's Sergeant Whip.
So he's good.
Yes, me and Sergeant Whip became friends because we shared our first ever Equestria Daily post. My Pinky Sly song, when Equestria Daily posted that, was at the same time that his All Fluttered Up song. I'm pretty sure both of us were like, "Oh, who's this?" I listened to Sergeant Whip, like, "This is tight. I like this." And he probably listened to my song and said, "This sucks," to give this guy support anyway. So we started talking, and we only really ever chat over SoundCloud. He'll comment on my tracks, I'll listen to his and comment on them. He's got his own style, and I respect the hell out of that. There's a lot of musique concrete in his sound, but just because he's doing things his own way. He asked me to remix All Fluttered Up for his album, so I decided it's like, well, okay, we're going to make this song dubstep, but it's going to be concrete dubstep. It's not going to be pure build drop wubs, end of song. I still haven't posted it on YouTube because it was a fairly short time frame for me to build the song in, and I'm still not sure. I don't want to update the track I made, but it was built musique concrete style on all of the samples he sent me, and I had a lot of fun with it.
What's your worst fake accent you can do?
All of them are my best worst fake accents. There's the German, which does not sound like Germans at all. It's fake.
It sounds a little bit French.
Yep. Well, it's all fake. All of my accents are fake. It's pretty much based the same way I base music. If I'm enjoying it, who gives a fuck? It is what it is. I'm not trying to fool anybody, but if you like it, go for it. If you don't, okay.
At least you do a better Australian accent than most.
Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
No, I think it's from all the Scotch accents I've had with Ev Dog that helps me get a bit of an Australian accent, So you can only learn from current sources. You can say like 6-year-old slang and people be just like, "Fuck you!" It's not what we say, but it's all just fake accents. I don't know. I've never aspired to be a voice actor, and these accents will definitely not help me. But they're still fun. I just enjoy, especially for people from like the East Coast of the United States, who say that I talk with a Western accent. It's like, wait, accent? See, the way we over here think of it is that you guys have the accent, and we're just the way you say it flat. Like, no, you guys are accenting it Western. And it's funny like that.
Yeah. Everyone has an accent, whether they like it or not.
Yeah, it's an accent. It's your take on the way words and things should be pronounced. Even down to the slang.
We got a shitload of slang words over here, but you wouldn't even know half of them.
Well, I learned too easy because some guys stopped into my drum department who were actually from Australia, and they get just, too easy. I'm like, wait, you're not really saying too easy. That's their slang. It must be the current term. Which it's funny about slang because like even in my house, like the slang develops within my house of its own accord,
Yeah.
When we first moved in, we were saying a bunch of things, and those have kind of phased out, And we resurrected the term being from talking like low-class airmen or being like the old-school Roman thing to just really mean like a whole lot of different things. Like if somebody got wasted and did stupid shit, it's like, dude, you were plebeian as fuck last night. Yeah, I know. I was fucking wasted. Dude, you're plebeian as fuck. It's basically, it's almost like each word develops its own concept and its own basis that has almost nothing to do with the original terminology, and it develops. And that's just in my house, because we have a big-ass 6-bedroom house, and we have about 8 people living here, you know. My bass player, one of his buddies from, like, the East Coast, came to visit for, like, a week, and he like, enjoyed being here so much, he actually moved over here to live with us, and he's been for, like, the last 5 months, and, you know, it's like our slang and our terminology is, like, it evolves just within this house. It's ridiculous, because I'll use that stuff at work just like common English. It's not what my life revolves around is what the hell's fun. Ponies are fun.
Ponies are extremely fun.
Extremely.
I've yet to find something that's more fun than ponies.
I can think of a few things that are pretty equal. Like, most bronies I know, it's like Doctor Who and ponies. That's their main thing. You know, my local meetup group is discussing, well, what happens if we start liking Littlest Pet Shop? You know, we all of a sudden like ponies, so, you know, it's not totally ruled out. It's like, no. Well, maybe it's all right. Yeah. But no, I don't think Littlest Pet Shop is going to take off. Hasbro probably wants it to, but I doubt it. So you can stick a goddamn Twilight Sparkle haircut on anything. It's not. It's still not Twilight Sparkle. So, you know, I mean, I'm not ruling it out. If I watch that show and I like the show, I'm going to like the show. If I like the show, I'm going to watch more episodes, and I might become a fan. I might start learning the names of the pet shop pets and whatever that shit is, but already the art style is not quite what I like, because, you know, I recognize the ponies being Flash-based type animation, like, straight up. It's like, I never really paid much attention to Flash-based, but as soon as I saw that show being that, I was like, yeah, this is dope. This is like, it's like cell shading, you know? A lot of people don't know where the name Automatic Jack comes from, because I didn't
Where did that come from?
I didn't make it up. It was I've been searching for a name to produce music under forever, and I've never had something stick. I was so many names back in the days when I was using the Yamaha R1X. I went under Heath and Hammerlong Co. DJ Double J Deluxe. You know, what was it? Klaus von Watt. Just a whole bunch of names. The latest one before Automatic Jack was Grizzly Reaper Mowing Service, which someday I will start like a dubstep collab crew of people who are good at certain things and blend it into one thing, like Knife Party. You know, it's a blend thing. Grizzly Reaper Mowing Service is very strong ties to be, you know, like Willy Wonka and the goddamn fucking chocolate factory. You know, I was the Grizzly Reaper Mowing. I was like, Grizzly Reaper Mowing Service. You know, it's funny, you know. You get a picture of, like, a grizzly in a Grim Reaper suit with his fucking staff riding a riding lawnmower that's all pimped the fuck out, you know. Like gold rims and fucking shit. That would be a dope picture. Grizzly Reaper Mowing Service. That's what I was actually doing right before I got into ponies and pony music, is Grizzly Reaper Mowing Service. And you can check my SoundCloud. And it used to say Grizzly Reaper Mowing Service, but like the first 3 songs on there, like my very first forays into dubstep, I did a Clockwork Orange track called, what is it called? I can't even remember right now. But it has like the prison yard scene between Alex and the prison guard and the governor, where he basically, that's where he speaks up and gets himself in this program he wants to get into to get out of prison. But shit, I can never remember something when I need to. That song was done under the name Grizzly Reaper Mowing Service, and since I chose Automatic Jack, I went back and changed those things. I had a song I actually wrote on Christmas Eve between like 11 p.m. Christmas Eve to like 10 in the morning Christmas Day, which was weird because both me and my brother were home for Christmas, and we both stayed up like the entire damn night. I was making music, he was playing video games. It was a pretty interesting Christmas. We've never had a Christmas where we stayed up late that we weren't looking for Santa, you know? So I'm sure we stayed up late looking for Santa and passed out at like 11 p.m. Oh, I stayed up so late and I'm tired, Santa's not here, you know? Actually, none of us, we never believed in Santa. We thought it was cool, but we never believed in Santa, but... So I did that stuff under Grizzly Reaper Mowing Service, but then I was like, this is still not quite who I am. Grizzly Reaper Mowing Service could be any number of people, and I need something that defines me as a musician as who I actually am. And if you actually, William S. Gibson writes, cyberpunk novels. I've been a fan of cyberpunk for, like a year and a half, just because it's like, it's another thing like the furry fandom. It's like I've always appreciated the concept. I just never knew it was an actual genre or a thing. This has always been part of me. I didn't know it was a thing, and hell, I'm not going to quit now. So cyberpunk, steampunk, furry stuff, I've always been down with that. But then William S. Gibson's Burning Chrome, there was a character in the book named Automatic Jack. The second I read that, I was like, that is a fucking badass name to make music under. It's like it's not original, no, but actually I don't want it to be all original. If I can name myself after something fairly obscure, so then I go to Google, I'm like, how well known is this name? And everything about Automatic Jack, nobody's making music under that name. There's a guy, people got that shit on Twitter, they got it on YouTube, but they don't do anything with it, Automatic Jack Twitter, who's spelled the right way. Actually, I might even have it spelled the right way under my name. The YouTube guy doesn't produce videos, he just goes on there and favorites them, and they're all in like Spanish or something. It's like, I hope nobody's ever showed up saying, hey, I heard a song by Automatic Jack, I want to subscribe to his videos, and then found that, and it's like, wow. I don't see anything ponies in here, what the hell? So, yeah, when I heard that name, I was like, this is perfect. I'm going to make music under this. Yeah, it struck a chord.
Yeah. It's a good name. It like rolls on the tongue as you say it. What program do you use to make your music?
Programs, because mainly it takes place in FL Studio 10, which I love. I have Ableton, I have Cubase, I have Sonar. None of those programs sat right with me. Ableton would be the closest, but FL10 it worked the way I think. And, another program which, whenever I'm tracking vocals, I will use this one. You can track vocals in FL. It's not directly made for it, but you can do it. But this other program I use, which is a very old version of Adobe Audition, version 1.5, is just, again, it works the way I think. When I hit a button, it does what I want it to do. And that's my definition of a good program. If I hit spacebar and shit doesn't play, I'm done with it. Fuck it. The spacebar in a DAW should play the goddamn song. Should also stop the song when the song's playing. Cubase didn't do that. Sonar doesn't do that. And if they did, it didn't work for me. Same thing when you click on something and you drag, it better select some shit. And if it doesn't select some shit, then I ain't down with it either. It's another thing Cubase and Sonar let me down on. So, yeah, FL10 to compose the music. When I want to track vocals, I render down a copy of the song, or at least a loop of what I'm going to be doing, and then I will put it in Adobe Audition, track my vocals there, save them, bring them back into FL for effects processing.
Nice.
Basically, I treat Adobe Audition like Audacity on crack. Because it is way the hell better than Audacity for audio recording. Smooth and it's fluid. Even version 1.5, which is probably like 8-9 years outdated. It just does it great.
Nice.
As far as what like synths and VSTs I use, I keep it way simple. I use a Fruity Sampler for samples. I use Fruity Slicer, sometimes Slice X when I chop shit up. And for the synth sounds, I pretty much only ever use 3X oscillator, which is the basic Fruity synthesizer. Just 3 oscillators, no delay, no chorus, nothing built in, no bells and whistles. I don't even use presets. I like the idea of going in with a tone in my head and being able to dial it in within a couple minutes.
Nice.
And that basic synth is great for that if you know what you're doing, which is why I enjoy using it, because I want this sound. I know how to get it in that program. Other programs, it's like, yes, but now I have 6 oscillators and I have a bunch of extra controls, which I don't know what they do because I haven't spent the time on them, and I like to dial in my own tones. Occasionally, I'll step into like a magical 8-bit plugin if I want a sub bass with like an 8-bit chiptune, like overtone harmonic to it, because that's a great tone. I've always loved the triangle bass from the NES chip.
Do you read books?
Do I rape books? No.
Read books.
Oh yes, definitely.
What kind of books do you read?
For the most part, I have quite a few ebooks on my phone, but I haven't really found one I could dig into. I usually dig in about halfway and then lose interest, just because, if it was a good book, I liked it, but nothing has quite drawn me in like the Harry Potter books have. It's
good books, those.
They are good books, and they're great for rereads because there's so many small details you forget about. It's just like Ponies, you rewatch an episode, it's like, oh, I forgot this was a subplot in there. Oh, this is awesome. Yes, this part. I love that shit. And it's like,
or you just like suddenly realize, oh my god, that's in that episode. I didn't know that.
It's
that?
The ability to rewatch something again and again and catch things you never caught before, like where Nightmare Moon shows up and the Cutie Mark Crusaders are there huddling together, terrified. It's like, that proves it. Scootaloo invented time travel. I knew it.
Yeah.
Scootaloo was the first Doctor. Yeah. Well, when you set your bar high with books like that, it's hard to get interested in a series. Other than that, people go looking for other series that quite epic. It's like when I find it, I'll find it. One book series that did seem pretty interesting was like the Stephanie Plum series.
Oh yeah.
Well, I read half of the first one and I liked it. I don't know why I left off. I probably just forgot I was reading it because I have a shitty short-term memory, which is probably why I make a new song every time I sit down. But that's probably a good series. I'd probably enjoy it if I finished the books. But it just didn't draw me in like Harry Potter did. Same thing with TV shows. That's why I don't get into a lot of them. They're good, but they don't draw me in like Ponies do. It's like I enjoy it, but I'm not
draw everyone in.
Yeah, I'm not waiting for the next one. Where's the next one? When's the next one? I will be there or be square. It's I set my standards high with those shows. One TV show that's like Ponies that I can never get enough of watching episodes is Trailer Park Boys. That is the best show I've ever seen come out of Canada. It's fantastic. I would say that's right on par with Ponies as my favorite show. Yeah. They're tied. I can rewatch any episode of Trailer Park Boys and love it. I can rewatch any episode of Ponies and love it.
Anyway, this has been DJ Jack on the radio. Pocket Automatic Jack.